Hello everyone, welcome to IPM IAS Academy's daily news highlights. Today is 3rd September 2024. Let's see what are the important news for today's discussion. And before that, if you have not yet subscribed this channel, please do subscribe the channel so that you will continue to get updates regarding civil services examination, current affairs and the strategies to prepare for this examination. Why women don't come forward to report sexual misconduct. Okay, so this particular article is mainly related with the atrocities that the women are actually facing in their workplaces. So under the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act, that is POSH Act 2013, it is mandatory for every organization to constitute internal compliance committee when there are 10 or more women employees working there. So it is very important to understand about the Prevention of Sexual Harassment POSH Act 2013. Despite these mandates, okay, like the POSH Act 2013 and the UGC regulations, compliance with ICC, that is Internal Compliance Committee procedures, varies widely across organizations, with some ignoring less severe complaints and intimidating victims into silence, leading to a lack of trust in these systems. So it's very important to understand this, because we are having legal systems in place to protect the women and also to address their issues concerning the atrocities and all, but still they are not able to do that. The process is not going well. There are actually interventions happening. So the whole article is related with that. So we need to understand about this whole scenario. So as we all know that the HEMA committee report which came about the Malayalam film industry is also discussed in this area. So try to have an idea about this particular issue, especially the women in India, the problems they are actually facing, and the legislations which are actually connected with these issues, like the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. You have to have an idea about it. What are the important features of this act? Please do have an idea about it. This particular article is coming in page number 2, General Studies 1, and it's a part of Women in India. Now we have Prime Minister's visit to Brunei, Singapore to focus on trade and technology. So here we are discussing about our Prime Minister's visit to Brunei and Singapore. So Brunei and Singapore are actually East Asian countries, and we are trying to maintain and we are trying to strengthen our relation with the East Asian countries. So our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Brunei and Singapore aims to strengthen trade, technological ties and space cooperation. So in Brunei, discussions will focus on satellite tracking and LNG trade, while in Singapore, 4 key agreements will be signed. So basically it's an article coming under the international relation and our relation with these East Asian countries, because we need to have a very good cordial relation with these countries, and we have an important policy called as Act East policy, India's Act East policy. So based on this context, you have to have an idea about what is India's Act East policy and how it will be helpful here in this particular visit also, and why we are actually engaging with these countries. That is also we need to have an idea. So please try to have an idea about our relation with Brunei and Singapore and other East Asian countries, and especially try to have an idea about the India's Act East policy. First Joint Commanders Conference to see push for theatre commands. So the first Joint Commanders Conference JCC will discuss the creation of integrated theatre commands with detailed recommendations presented to the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. The consensus is for 3 theatre commands, with all commanders being 4-star officers. So here from this article you have to have an idea about what is this first Joint Commanders Conference. What are its objectives? What is the purpose of that particular conference? You have to have an idea, and also try to have an idea about the creation of integrated theatre commands for these 3 important forces. So please have an idea about these things, because it is connected with the internal security of our country. It is actually dealing with our defense system. It is dealing with our military of our country and all. So please try to have an idea about these important points. So this particular article is coming in page number 4, General Studies 3, and it's a part of internal security. Hectic negotiations on for control of house panels. So what is this article all about? This article is about the department related parliamentary standing committees. the formation of those standing committees. So nearly after 3 months of Lok Sabha polls, the formation of department related parliamentary standing committees is stalled because of the differences between the ruling party and the opposition party. So the main opposition is related with who will chair these key committees like external affairs, finance, defense, etc. So based on this article, you have to have an idea about what are these parliamentary committees and what is a standing committee and what are the standing committees existing in the parliament and what are ad hoc committees. So try to have an idea about both these committees and their functions, their purpose, and the members who are actually involved in these committees. So try to have an idea about it, because parliamentary committees are very crucial for the proper day-to-day affairs of the parliament and its functions. So this particular article is coming in page number 4, General Studies 2, and it's a part of Indian polity. Now, dealings at a China-Africa forum that India must track. So this is mainly about the forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC 2024, and it is very crucial because as African nations face challenges like economic instability, geopolitical conflicts, and summit fatigue, the African leaders must drive the agenda for effective outcomes. So already African countries are actually going through a lot of crisis. So in that context, this particular cooperation is really important. So what are these economic priorities in this cooperation? The African nations aim to strengthen agriculture, industrial development, and value addition at the FOCAC 2024, and collaborating with nations like China and India on sustainable farming and green energy is essential for the economic growth of these African nations. Now, when you are actually understanding the economic situation of Africa, Africa's debt to China is complex. Okay, so that is how they are actually connected. So their debt to China is really complex with concerns about transparency. African leaders need coherent strategies to negotiate effectively with China, focusing on trade over aid and enhancing value chains. Okay, so what are its lessons for India? That is also very crucial for us. India's engagement with Africa should emphasize continuity, industrial integration, and innovative financing. Holding the next India-Africa Forum Summit and leveraging digital technology can strengthen India's partnership with Africa. So, in a globalized era, in this international system, we cannot neglect the importance of any region, especially Africa. Africa is a highly mineral-rich region. It's a highly resource-rich region. But the problem is like they are going through a lot of struggles because of the instability in their rulings and because of the ethnic conflicts in that region, because of corruption, because of the involvement of other countries in the region. So everywhere you can see that they are finding a lot of problems. So the health issues is another important major crisis. The Mpox, okay, the Mpox virus, you can see that it is rampant in the Congo region, especially in Africa. So they are going through a lot of crisis. So in that crisis, it is our responsibility, like India and China, to help them. But we should also note that how China is engaging with them. So when you look at the economic relation with China, you can see that there are a lot of debt which they need to pay to the China. So from this we have a lot of lessons. We need to have a very cordial relation with the African countries, and we have to ensure that the digital technologies, that the ongoing digital technology revolution will also help us in strengthening our relation with Africa. So please read this article. You will get a lot of perspectives regarding the international relations right now, especially in connection with African countries. So this particular article is coming in page number 8, General Studies 2, and it's a part of international relations. The Disaster Management Amendment Bill is naughty. So this article is mainly dealing with the Disaster Management Amendment Bill 2024. So it says that it further centralizes disaster response, complicating existing frameworks and potentially delaying disaster relief. That is what is actually addressed in this article. So based on this, you need to have an idea about what is this particular bill, because right now when you look at the situation with the climate problem, the climatic conditions and the weather conditions, you can see that everywhere in almost all parts of India, some kind of issues are actually going on in connection with the geography, especially the disasters. Okay, the flood, on the one side you can see flood, okay, on the other side we can actually see the landslide. So many disasters are actually going on. So we need to have a very effective plan and a very effective strategy for actually countering these disasters, and that can be only done through a proper legislation, and such a legislation is the Disaster Management Act 2024. 24 or the Amendment Bill 2024. So based on this, you have to have an idea about what is this bill, what are the important features actually enshrined in this, and what are the important innovations they are actually bringing in this, what are the challenges to this particular bill. So please try to have an idea about it. This particular article is coming in page number 8, General Studies 2, and it's a part of Indian polity, it's a part of disaster management, etc. Bangladesh to restart talks with India over TAA Water Dispute. So this is also very important because right now India-Bangladesh relation, if you look at, Bangladesh is going through a lot of struggles. Okay, so protests are going on, instability is there. So in that context only, they are actually going on and discussing about the TAA water dispute. So based on this article, you need to have an idea about what is this issue, what is this water treaty or water sharing treaty. The Bangladesh interim government seeks to restart dialogue with India on the TAA water sharing treaty with confidence in resolving the issue amicably. So this is a problem which is actually going on for years. So it is very important to find an amicable solution for this. However, they might consider international legal principles if an agreement is not reached. Okay, so based on this article, what you need to understand is the relation between India and Bangladesh, especially what is this TAA river water dispute and what were the other disputes existed between India and Bangladesh, and some of these issues we have actually sorted out. If you look at our 100th Amendment Act, you can see that it was actually connected with the enclave sharing between India and Bangladesh. So try to have an idea about it, try to have an idea about the current relation between India and Bangladesh and what we can actually offer for the better administration of the Bangladesh nation. So try to have an idea about all these points. So these are the important points we would like to discuss about today's newspaper. And apart from this, there are many other news which are actually available in the newspaper, especially in the international page and other regional pages. So please do go through it also. Okay, and there is an important announcement regarding our courses, the PCM 2025 and the PCM 2026 courses. It is available in our IPM IAS application. So please download the IPM IAS application, and the scholarship test link will be given in the description. So please take the scholarship test link so that you will get the course at a highly affordable price. So go and check the courses, and also don't forget to take the scholarship test. So thank you so much for your patient listening.